Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Rhodium is exploding in price, and that is not clickbait, folks. Let's explore. That's right, I can safely say it with the utmost confidence that rhodium is exploding in price. A $1,200 move, even though it's just 12% of the overall price movement, is huge with a Y. That's right, folks. It's big news, breaking records again. Rhodium is $12,700 for the ask price, $11,200 for the bid price, and no, I'm still not selling my rhodium bar. Now, it's times like this where I really wish I had two of them, because I would love to be able to sell another one. And if I was to sell it, I may get a couple $100 below the bid price if I was to sell it back to a dealer or a Kitco or somebody. But regardless, I'd take a little bit of a loss from the bid price, but a huge gain from the price that I had paid for it, which is $1,100. But nonetheless, palladium is up too. And in this environment, with what's going on, especially since those metals have a huge industrial demand, though they are precious metals, why are they going up in this environment, in an environment where there's a Mexican cerveza ailment floating around there and making big news as of late? The reason for it is, well, there is, we'll find out, according here to this particular site here. This is SPG or spglobal.com has got a piece here. It says, though the outbreak that this particular ailment that is named after Mexicano cerveza may affect near-term automobile demand, long-term demand for palladium and rhodium will remain unchanged unless automakers substitute for other metals, well, like platinum, and platinum is going up a little bit too, but that is the key, is to see if they're going to retool for platinum. Managing Director Federic Panzuzzi of MKS Dubai said, if I was a car maker, I would definitely stock palladium while the price is lower. And I believe this is going to keep palladium strong, even if the demand goes down in China, the UK, or the demand for parts decreases. Panizzuti said in an interview this week, rhodium and palladium, along with platinum, are used in automobile catalytic converters to control emissions of certain greenhouse gases and pollutants. It's a bargain for car manufacturers to be able to acquire palladium if it goes lower. It's been on a one-way street for months now, Panuzzuti said, referring to the recent rallies in palladium and rhodium. NYMEX palladium has risen nearly 25% since the start of the year to reach an intraday high of $2,789.80 on February the 27th. NYMEX palladium for June delivery closed at $2,469.40 on Thursday. Rhodium, which is not traded on the major exchanges, and that's why some people believe that rhodium, since rhodium is free of being traded on the exchanges, is why the metal can go up without manipulative pressures out there that some feel that are weighing heavily on the other metals. But rhodium, so it's risen nearly 114% since the start of the year. The Platts New York dealer rhodium price was assessed at $12,700 to $13,000 an ounce on February the 27th. That's a dealer rhodium price. I didn't see that in the charts, on the Kitco charts, but regardless, analysts have attributed the sharp price increase to automakers trying to secure enough metal for catalytic converters that meet new emission standards in China, India, and Europe, as well as the US and UK. And China is a huge market. It's a growing economy there. in many aspects, and that in India too. So more and more people are driving, and they're starting to set these standards in those countries, especially where there's a lot of pollutants in these big cities like Beijing. It's a horrible pollution problem. It makes just all the sense in the world that this demand is just going to skyrocket. Further spread of the Mexicano cerveza outbreak globally could reduce automotive demand, along with the projected 1 million ounce supply deficit in palladium, Panizuti said. The China Passenger Car Association on Wednesday said new car sales in China have plummeted 80% in February from a year ago, the biggest monthly decline on record, though it declined to provide a figure. Analysts attributed the declining sales to government restrictions to limit the spread of it in China, where it began in Hubei province. Hubei is a major auto manufacturing hub in China. But even if this thing becomes a global pandemic, which it really people are saying it is now already, governments and businesses will have to adapt as they do regularly, nearly every year, with widespread influenza outbreaks. So, it's just a different kind of an influenza, and it's a new variation of it. So they're doing this, but the recovery rates now outpace the new ones in China. So hopefully it's dying down there. Automotive production, and by extension palladium and rhodium demand, would continue, though possibly at a lower rate, he added. And keep in mind, they're very rare metals anyway. Platinum substitution. I believe that palladium price now is far over the threshold that automakers are willing to accept, Panuzuti said. But substituting platinum for palladium in catalytic converters takes time due to design and testing procedures. So it's not as easy, and we've talked about that in a prior video. So in the opinion of Panuzuti, it should happen, whether it takes several months or longer, because the palladium situation is unsustainable, and I see no reason why the situation should change if nothing changes in the supply-demand balance. And the only way to change the supply-demand balance is to switch partially or totally from palladium to platinum. If there is no switch, the situation will be the same, and it will remain a struggle for manufacturers to get a hold of material. So that is interesting indeed. And that is why I believe that once they make that happen, whatever decision factors are come into place with the demand supply, because obviously platinum is about 15 times more common than palladium, then that's why I'm relatively bullish on platinum. That's right, that's what you're hearing right now, is a platinum maple leaf being flipped. And I think it's just a matter of time before that happens. What that time frame is, I don't know, because of the time it takes to design and test these procedures. And we'll see. The whole thing with the scandal with Volkswagen in Germany that happened in 2015 is still weighing hard on platinum prices. But rhodium is up, and it is used as an industrial metal, $12,700. Pretty amazing to see a $1,200 jump in the price. That is, I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Let's see if we've got 1 year rhodium, 60-day. The jumps that we've seen, the 5-year rhodium. Let's take a look at the 5-year rhodium chart here. I think this is going to be quite telling. Let's see if we can get an interactive chart. It may or may not show up here. Okay. Rhodium. Let's see if we can get this thing back to 5 years. So we can see, let's look at the maximum here. And the record for it was way back here in 2008, $9,560. It's far out surpassed that now. Record highs for rhodium. It's a good time to own rhodium, especially when you bought it around this particular time period. I think I bought it when it was right around $650 to $700. I paid a heavy premium for it. I paid $1,100 for it, but it was well under $1,000. I wish I would have bought some, but of course, back here when it was $450 back in 2004, 2005, or 3, there was no way to buy it in a bar form that I know of. I don't even think the Cohen Mint had come out with their little discs that they produced at that time. There's really no way to really procure it in a form other than an industrialized form. But it is fascinating to see Rhodium's upwards movement. Look how quickly it dropped here. Just a massive plunge back down here to $950, $1,000 after the recession that hit. The ban, I guess, had just gone away, and now it's skyrocketing here. Just massive increase. Here was a relatively steady move upwards, but now we're seeing this economic activity. And think about it. Look at this. This is when economic activity was really starting to pick up with Rhodium, and so the demand for it was increasing. And so these are times of good economic times. Then the recession hits, boom, it goes crazy, and then it drops off. And so if another recession hits again, we could see Rhodium just plunge very, very quickly, if not quicker than it went up, because this rise is almost as much as this fall right here. So we'll see how it plays out. It's been quite a fascinating tale. Let's actually narrow this down here. We can even see over through the year, the 100% increase has been relatively stable through here. Look at that. This is performing better than any cryptocurrency out there ever. It's absolutely stunning and amazing. Wish I had more. Now, people will say, well, Sal, you've got one at least, and most of us don't have it. I know, but that's the collector in me. And the collector in me it's got a negative, it's to my detriment because I'm not taking advantage of the profit I could take on that. And same thing if I buy a high premium silver coin, if I go to sell it, I'm going to lose my shirt more than likely over it, at least for many of these higher premium silver collector coins. But I don't accumulate these coins to try to make money on them. And I don't want to accumulate these coins to preserve my wealth for some of these collector silver coins. I collect them because I enjoy them, and that's the only real reason. I know that I'm protected by the intrinsic value of the silver contained therein, and for this Rhodium bar, I am obviously would come out way, way ahead, and if I don't sell this thing and the price plunges, people are going to say, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you sell that, Sal? Why didn't you sell that, Sal? Well, because I just wanted an example of Rhodium for my collection. And that's really the bottom line. It's as simple as that. But I digress. I know I can get a lot of gold for it because I have been trying to accumulate a bit more gold, obviously, and a little bit of platinum here too. But nonetheless, that it is what it is. But it's fun. You know, I really truly do like metals. And I will make a confession here. You guys may not know this, so I'll have to whisper this particular part, but I tend to salivate over metals. Just wanted to throw that out there. Okay? Keep that between you and me. Don't let anybody know about that I salivate over metal. All right, enough of that. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching. Rhodium to the moon and to Uranus and Pluto and beyond. I'd like to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.